Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. It's the 6th of April 2022 and the futures are looking red. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be a great day in the market, at least at this point of time. And just before this recording session, I had a quick look at all the indices and indicators, and it's very difficult now to make a determination which side things are going to go. So anyway, let's get started with our analysis. As always, this video is going to be three parts. The first one is going to be about geopolitics and news and CRISPR news, if any, that's going to impact the markets today. The second part is going to be technical analysis of NASDAQ, VIX, gold, and cryptocurrency with an idea to determine the overall macro trends of the market. And finally, we'll be talking about our genomics shares in the watch list that we have, and we'll do some technical analysis in order to determine potential price movements. So let's get started. In terms of the initial outlook, I think that today is looking rather weak for the market. The Russia-Ukraine crisis is continuing to deteriorate, and things are not moving in the right direction out there. So that's a big concern for us, and that may likely have a lot of impact on the markets today. And also the FOMC action, we know that they are going to increase the interest rate at 50 basis points going forward. So any communication from the Federal Reserve is likely to dampen the spirits further. So I'm thinking that today is likely to be a red day. In terms of CRISPR news, there is none as such, and I think it's time for us to take a look at the NASDAQ and the VIX and proceed from there. Let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin today is down minus 2.17%. And if you look at the chart, this is a one-day chart with each candle being 1 minute. So in the last few minutes, we have been seeing an upward trend in the price for Bitcoin. But if you look at the MACD, it's tending towards the signal line, and our momentum is above average but pointing downwards. So these two factors are kind of telling me that Bitcoin is not likely to pick up. It's got a bearish halo right now. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out for the rest of the day. But if we were to go into a 1 year time frame where each candle is 1 day, we can see that we are still below the resistance, the horizontal resistance of 45,511.2. And we also have our 9-day exponential moving average, which is at 45,432, providing resistance. And right now the support is coming from the 20-day exponential moving average and the 50-day exponential moving average. So we might probably see the day end with Bitcoin coming somewhere close to the 20-day exponential moving average, which is at 44,116.7. At least that's what it looks like at this point of time. Now, if we take a quick look at gold, gold is moderately positive today. It's got a perfect doji candle where it's uncertain which direction it wants to move. I'm going to remove this bottom support line, because even though gold is consolidating, it can still go down further before it goes up. Because if I look at the MACD, it's pointing downwards and it's bearish, but it's tending towards the signal line, and the momentum is just about average and flat. So we do not know which side gold is going to go. So we have a bearish sign from Bitcoin, indecisive sign from gold. And if we were to go and look at our indicators and go to look at US oil, so US oil has gained 1.24% today. That's around $1.26. It's being constrained by the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average, but it has got support from this diagonal green line, and we have formed a kind of bullish pennant out here. So there is a good chance that oil price might spike upwards today and break out of this diagonal green line out here. In which case it's likely to go above $104.46. So if oil price goes up, it's going to put pressure on the VIX. So if you look at the real-time VIX right now, the latest candle, let me confirm, it is today's candle. Today is 6th of April, and this candle is for today. And it has converted the 9-day exponential moving average into a support. And right now it is fighting against the 20-day exponential moving average. And our next resistance is the 20-day exponential moving average, followed by the 100-day exponential moving average, which is at 23.63. And then finally with the horizontal resistance at 24.28. And if you look at the MACD is tending towards the signal line. Even though it's bearish, it's tending towards the signal line, which is a bullish move. And also the momentum, which was below average, is tending towards average and pointed upwards to become above average. So that makes me feel that the VIX is going to go up. So when the VIX goes up, we have NASDAQ falling down. So let's take a look at NASDAQ right now. It's around 9:16 in the morning. This is pre-market, and I'm going to look at the overall picture for NASDAQ. I'm zooming out to take a long-term view, and we have got each of these candle as a one-day candle. If you look at the long-term view, we have been going up steadily since the 23rd of March 2020, and we have touched this diagonal line most recently on 1st of October 21 before falling below. And once we fell below this bullish channel, we started tracking down this bearish channel, this diagonal green line, which has supported us for the longest time. And then we made a very sharp recovery somewhere around 14th of March. And we have been on a very, very sharp upward slope, which is a bullish track. And as I mentioned earlier, this bullish track is not sustainable because it's very, very steep. So in my books, it has got to be somewhere around 45-degree angle. So I'm not much worried if we have any fall today, which takes us towards that kind of an angle. But it seems that if we zoom in into the action and zoom in closer, so you can see that we have a support from the 100-day exponential moving average, which was holding up our QQQ yesterday, which is a proxy for NASDAQ. And we have already converted our 9-day exponential moving average into a resistance. We also have resistance at 364.41. So there is a good chance that today QQQ will fall because Bitcoin is tending to show bearish. Gold is indecisive. VIX has already showed a spurt, and US oil is also in a bullish pennant with a very good potential for spiking. So all of those things make me believe that today NASDAQ is going to go down below the 100-day exponential moving average, and its next support is the 20-day exponential moving average, which happens to be at 355.53. We closed yesterday at 361.10. Now let us look at our futures. If you look at futures is deeply red. We are down 1.47% for NASDAQ in the futures, and that's around 217 basis points. So overall, we are looking at a red day for NASDAQ, and it's around 9:18 in the morning. So I'm going to park this here. So that's all I have for the technical analysis of NASDAQ, VIX, and gold, crypto, and everything. So let's look at our genomic stocks. We are going to check out our genomic stocks here, and I'm going to sort this out. And I'm really wondering if it's worth doing a stock by stock analysis today, because overall the trend seems to be absolutely bearish. And we have some gainers out here. Pfizer is up 1.6%. It has got a strong support in this line out here, diagonal green line. MACD is also bearish, but tending towards a signal line, momentum above average. Pfizer is looking good. Regeneron is up 0.8%. Again, it's turned bearish, so it's likely to end up red. Novartis is up 0.78%, and we have a bullish MACD and upward pointing momentum. So Novartis has got positive signs today, despite the overall market being what it is. So I think the top three shares that we have here are likely to fare much better than the others. But Pfizer is most likely to end up red today because of weakness. And if we look at Vertex, one of our most bullish shares, it is still above the upper bullish channels, and I think it will stay above that even regardless of how bad the day is today. It may end up staying above that, which means the lowest that it could probably drop is 264.20. Right now it's at 270.45. Verve is up 0.3, and again MACD is bearish, and momentum is flat and below average. So I don't know how Verve has got a positive here, but it's likely to end up negative. So overall, I think the bias is bearish, and we still have this green support line out here, which is what will probably prevent IBB from falling further. If you remember, we had selected IBB as a ETF, which would kind of give us an overall trend for genomics. So it's down minus 0.87%, reflecting a bearish trend. The momentum is also dropping down, though it is above average, and MACD, even though bullish, is tending towards the signal line. So even the signal that we are getting from IBB is that it's a weak day for genomic stocks. So there seems to be a bit of flux in the market. As we have been going through these charts, we are seeing there are gains happening in the shares that we reviewed earlier. So I think it's now time to have a quick look at the indicators again and see if anything has changed. So if we look at US oil, it has fallen down further. And if we look at VIX is definitely going up. And if we look at QQQ overall, it has opened down and gone down further. So right now it is getting a support from the 50-day exponential moving average. And the MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is pointed downwards. So not much of a change. Let us quickly look at crypto also, just to cross check and confirm. So the crypto is also, it's not changed much. Gold has started moving upwards. So there's not much changes out there. So I don't know. I think there's a high volatility today in the market, and I predict that overall the bias is negative, especially with the lack of other news. The focus is on Ukraine-Russia war, and that's not looking pretty either. And things are looking bad in that front without any resolution, with more sanctions at play. So I think the bearish trend is going to prevail. If you look at Illumina, it's down 1.06. Again, the momentum is pointing downwards, so it's going to lose further. Allogene down minus 0.84. Again, MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line, and momentum is also above average but flat. So Allogene is going to lose a little more today. IMT again is the same story. When it comes to IMTX, it's down 1.95% today after a steady gain ever since 17th of March. After the earnings, it has been going up steadily. So we do not know what is the reason for the strength in IMTX. So any of the viewers here, if you have any idea what is happening, please let me know. So that I can factor that into my calculations. Obviously, there is something positive happening for IMTX that is not in the news. So I'd like to hear from any of you if you know about that. And for today, the MACD, though bullish, is moving towards the signal line. And after being overbought, IMTX is moderating a little bit. And this is where the lack of information is creating a problem in determining the future course of IMTX, because if IMTX had something really positive going for it, which if we take into consideration, then we can consider that having been overbought, the RSI is cooling off, and then it will resume its upward movement, and it will bounce off the support at 8.80 or before. But I'm not able to make that determination because I don't know what is driving IMTX. So any input from the community is most welcome. Editas is down minus 2.26%. That's around 46 cents down. And we have support from the 9-day exponential moving average. We opened low and we fell down further, and we are likely to test the 9-day exponential moving average today. And given that the momentum is falling and MACD is tending towards the signal line in a bearish manner, I am thinking that we may end up the day just below the 9-day exponential moving average and above the 50-day exponential moving average. So that's above 19.29 but below 19.71. So that's where I think Editas is going to end. Caribou Biosciences is down minus 3.59%, and our MACD is turning bearish, and momentum is below average. So we are likely to lose further on Caribou Biosciences, maybe a negative 0.65 cents. Bluebird down 2.68%, and our MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average and falling down further. We opened below but we moved up. We have resistance from the 9-day exponential moving average and the 20-day exponential moving average. So I think Bluebird is likely to at the best end up flat, but it could end up negative minus 3.5 on the worst case. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 3.62%, and we are well below this diagonal line, which I'm going to make it as a red, which is going to be our next resistance after the horizontal resistance at 66.36. I'm going to convert this also into a resistance, and we have a resistance from the 9-day exponential moving average, and the only support we have is coming from the 20-day and the 50-day exponential moving average respectively. MACD, though bullish, is tending towards the signal line, almost ready to cross over to the bearish side. Momentum, though above average, is pointing downwards and likely to go below average before the end of the day. So CRISPR Therapeutics is likely to end up the day negative around $3.25 in my opinion. Beam Therapeutics is down 3%. And we are below the diagonal line of support that we had, which was a resistance earlier for us for the bearish channel. So I'm going to reinstate the resistance, and we are firmly back into the bearish channel. And we had a very steep drop. We opened low and we went down further. And the MACD is absolutely bearish and moving away from the signal line. Momentum is below average and pointing downwards. So Beam Therapeutics is likely to end up the day negative $2.50 in my opinion. When it comes to ARCG, we are at 44.59, and I'm convinced that we are going to fall below 44.39 today and convert that into a resistance. And our next support is going to be 36.91, and we may be in a bit of a free fall if we fall below 44.53 for ARCG. Our MACD, though bullish, is trending towards the signal line and is likely to cross over to the bearish side. Momentum is below average and pointed downwards, so it's not looking good for ARCG. If I were to guess, I would say that ARCG may end up the day negative $2.25. DNA is down minus 5.12%, and our MACD is bearish and tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average and pointed downwards. So I'm thinking that DNA is going to lose another 20 cents before the end of the day and end up minus 0.40 cents. Teledoc is down minus 6.11. We are firmly back into our bearish channel, so I'm going to convert this diagonal green line into a red line of resistance. And we have a support at 54.58. MACD is bearish and tending towards the signal line, ready to cross over. Momentum is below average and pointed downwards. So I'm thinking that Teledoc is going to end the day negative $5.50 before the end of the day. PSEB is down minus 6.45%, and we are below the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. MACD is almost ready to cross over to the bearish side. Momentum is below average and pointed down. So for PSEB, I think we'll be down $1 before the close of the day. Intelia is down 5.67%, and we have fallen below our diagonal line of support in the bearish channel again, and therefore our next support is going to be 60.88. MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line in a bearish manner, and our momentum is below average and falling down. So overall it's looking bad. I'm really disappointed with the day. It's looking absolutely bad. It's a catastrophe in making. And I think by the end of the day, everything is going to look red unless we have some really good positive catalyst coming from either the Fed or from the Ukraine and Russia front. Otherwise, it's all looking bleak. So that's all for today, my friends. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to put the like there. It helps the channel grow. And if you're not subscribed, why not? Just subscribe and join our community, and get notified on all the new videos that I'm going to put up, especially the weekend videos where I take a deep dive into more contemporary topics that are likely to influence the market. Thanks for everything. Bye for now. See you later tomorrow.